Can I see you tomorrow night?
Sure, but don't you mean tonight?
Hi, I'm Inka and I'm currently writing a military cosmic horror story called MSV Shelter and make videos to share the process and to keep myself accountable. During June and July I'm deep diving into outline, and this week it's all about theme and how to build a story out of it by using the 3-act structure.
I think that stories are the crystallization of pain. Oftentimes the stories are the crystallization of pain. When you crystallize it so you can give it to someone else so they don't have to go through the same pain. Mm-hmm. So the pain isn't wasted.
The one thing that I'm kind of struggling with for a few years now, and which I haven't really conquered yet, is the struggle between anxiety and FOMO. Feeling like you're not really living life because you're afraid to socialize and put yourself out there, and just because socializing absolutely drains my battery and I could use that energy for more important things like writing and art. That versus the fear of dying without having really lived. So kind of the question of where does your own drive to experience life end and where does FOMO start? And how can you kick yourself out of your comfort zone on a daily basis while still being proud of what you've done and experienced already? So that's the crystallized pain I found, and it fits my characters very well, so I'm going to use it. It doesn't necessarily have to be pain though, I just like the word. It can be anything that's interesting to you and that you want to explore or share with others, like the color blue and what meaning it holds for you.
As they fought for breath, TB and pneumonia hammered at the lungs, and toxin at the brain.
I'm never going to get that time back. If you have no idea what it could be, take another look back at what you already know about your story. Maybe it's already part of the overview and the premise that we did in the last video. Or maybe you leave this step for after you finish the first draft and have a clearer picture of what the story is about. Now that you have your crystallized pain or theme or topic or whatever, you need to bring it closer to people. For them to see your point of view, you need to be convincing. And what's the best way to be convincing through writing? Let's get out your school textbooks, because we are going to talk at least a little bit about essay writing. I got this idea from Critical Hit and his video called Everyone's Wrong About 3-Act Structure. He gives a bit more context about the history of story structure and how important it is to tell stories, yada yada. That's not really what I care about. His main point though is that there are certain trends in stories that can be observed and which people have tried to pin down in a million books on story structure. At this point, they've kind of turned the observations into prescriptions, but no one really talks about why these trends exist. Why is the kick into Act 2 usually around the 25% mark? Why does every story have an inciting incident in the first 15 or so percent usually? That's because they are built like essays. If you just write a convincing essay, you will hit these beats organically. An essay is parted into a proposal, an argument, and a conclusion. Those are our 3 acts. And that's weirdly enough also what all our communication is built upon. Last week, for example, I came into work and told my coworker, "Hey, mate, sorry I'm late. I totally slept in. I had this crazy nightmare. Like, I watched Mad God yesterday, and I usually don't have nightmares about movies, but this time I had, like, there were like this 6 feet tall, thin dust monkeys." And that's why I know. That's because I watched Mad God, because there were like dust people and monkeys, but not like dust monkeys. But anyway, it was like a battle royale, and they put us into groups, and the thin dust monkeys, they were in a group with the baddies, the bad guys, and they were completely wrecking us. Like we were down like to 2 or something, and then they had these contraption, like a net of wires coming towards us, like in the movie Cube. Have you watched Cube? Never mind. Anyway, so they had this, and it was a death trap, like not just for our group, just for every group. But I somehow managed to get in behind the contraption and kind of dislodge all the nets or whatever. And then I took them and I strangled one of the monkeys, and I basically cut off like the head. It was like a piano string wire, you know. And then I think I swam with the other monkey and drowned them. I don't know why I can hold my breath longer than them, but anyway, I won, but I totally overheard the alarm. It's a great movie. I don't think I can recommend it to you. Like, yeah, you're probably not even interested, but yeah, great movie. I wanted to explain why I slept in, but really I just wanted to talk about Mad God and tell my coworkers that it's an amazing movie that you shouldn't watch because it will give you nightmares. That's my proposal. What's my argument? The whole dream, basically. And then I have my conclusion. Don't watch Mad God, except you really should, because I need someone to talk about it with, even though the movie itself doesn't really facilitate conversation. It's more of a visceral reaction you have to this movie, which is the reason why I talked about it through a dream that I had. I hope this makes sense. Critical Hit has a much better example for it in multiple examples for it in his videos. Now let's take my crystallized pain, I just love saying that word, I'm sorry, and try to structure an essay around it. My topic is a bit more difficult because it's basically two proposals in one. It's two lessons to be learned, so why not use two protagonists? Friends, lovers who meet each other and learn from each other. That's honestly how I build most of my stories, although usually it's three protagonists to show more sides of the conflict. Character number one, Necro, needs to learn that overcoming your anxiety is preferable to staying holed up in your room and not living at all. Character number two, Cheek, needs to learn that he doesn't need to anxiously grasp for every experience to be content with his life and with himself. We can do that, or we can have a character already know the lessons and stick to it while the characters around the protagonist start learning the lesson, like in Paddington or kind of in Locke, if you've seen the movie, it's a great one. And also partially in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Or you can have them know the lesson at the start but get corrupted by another belief and you have yourself a tragedy. You can call those positive, linear and negative character arcs, but over here in Chatland it's all the same. There doesn't even have to be a main character like in Dune or The Three-Body Problem, where it's more about social development and where entire societies undergo a kind of character arc. Or maybe it's even a place. The world is your oyster. The plan was to read at least like one of the crystallized pain outlines to you, but I swore to myself to not write scripts longer than 500 words for my weekly videos. I'm already dealing with enough. Like a crippling Daniel Molloy addiction. This episode 5 of season 2 of Interview with the Vampire that just really took it out of me. I edited like 3 videos of him since the episode dropped this Sunday and wrote about 5,000 words of fanfiction. I just can't also be giving you 5,000 words of narration. I have to stick to my priorities. So if you want to read the whole thing, and if YouTube finally allows me to put links into the description, you can find it there. I've marked the text up there as well to show how all the major beats got hit without me even trying. When you start your crystallized pain, it will not look like this. It will probably be a lot shorter and more general with a lot less detail. This exercise might be great to get a quick overview of your story, but that's not really what I need it for at the moment, because I'm already in the thick of it and a more in-depth outline is what I need to hopefully finish the first draft this weekend. How do you do this? I started the exercise by summarizing what his arc is going to be about, and then I made a list of arguments and beats that I wanted to hit, so I can just strike them out when they come up or fill them or backfill them. And then I just started from the top. I already have the chapters and story as a whole sorted out. Now it's just about connecting the beats through character motivation to show what they mean for the character development and theme. And then of course I also needed to add it to my beautiful Notion page just for my pleasure. Alright, I'm over 1,000 words of script already. Let's wrap this up. So, you finished level 2, or you will after ending this video. This was a lot more work than the last one, but super helpful. I have a much better idea of what I'm going to write this weekend. I hope it helped you too. If you feel ready to jump into the first draft after this exercise, off you go. I'll go on to level 3 and you can catch me there next Friday. Bye! 1,000 words, are you fucking kidding me? By the way, because I've been blabbing on about Mad God the whole time, the DVD Blu-ray finally got in the mail, and I was just today thinking about rewatching it, which is kind of crazy. I actually just bought it because I was